Welcome to today's video, and today we'll be learning about grading. So what is grading? Grading is the process of reshaping land at a construction site. This can include raising or lowering ground levels, adding or removing slopes, or leveling the ground surface. In general, it has two main purposes: creating proper drainage or preparing land to bear weight. In this scenario, we have some parcels of land. We want to demonstrate grading in one of the parcels. Let's have a look at the existing ground landscape. So I click on the EG surface, I right click and go to Object Viewer. Let's turn the orientation. From the Object Viewer, we can observe the raw terrain. Nothing has been leveled, nothing has been graded, as you can see. It's just the raw ground. Let's go back to the Civil 3D workspace and attempt some grading. So the first thing is to convert our building pad to a feature line. So let's select the feature line. So what are feature lines? Feature lines are intelligent Civil 3D objects that can take properties such as elevation. So this currently is just a polyline. We want to convert it to a feature line. Select the building footprint, then go to the Create Design panel. Here, select Create Feature Lines from Objects. This dialog box will pop up, and for the style, just select the basic style, and then erase existing entities and assign elevations. So as you can see here, the general elevation, we have some elevation spot markers here, and their annotations. So here we can assign 1822 as our elevation because most of this terrain is 1821 and something, and it's sloping upwards from this side towards this other edge. So let's click OK. You can assign the elevation from the surface. You can assign the elevation of the feature line from the surface. But now we want to assign the elevation manually. So I check the elevation marker here, and then I select 1822. I type in 1822, and I click OK. Here we go. We now have a feature line. And we can know that by clicking on the feature line, and up here you can see a contextual tab for the feature line. And I can go to Elevation Editor, and here you can see all of my vertices for this feature line. You can see the vertices are denoted by the green triangles. All the vertices are set to 1822 meters above sea level. All right. After a building pad is converted to a feature line, now it's time to perform our grading. Go to Create Design panel again. Click on the drop down next to the grading icon. Click on Grading Creation Tools. The Grading and Creation Tools toolbar will pop up. Start setting up your grading from the left. So click on that, select grading group. Here is just a matter of selecting a grading group, or you can create a new grading group altogether. So we select the existing grading group and we click OK. Then next we go and select the surface, the target surface to grade to, and in this case it will be the existing ground surface. So we click here, and here we have the gated community existing ground surface. And if you're not sure about it, you can click on this and go and select it. Once that is set up, you click OK. Then the next thing will be selecting the grading layer. And we go with the default. Then next to that icon is select a criteria set. So here we only have one set. You can create a set of your own and find it at the drop down and select it. So this creation criteria set is what has all these grading criteria here available for selection. So we have a basic, we have grade to distance. So generally we have 3 grading criteria. We can grade to a surface, we can grade to a relative elevation, or we can grade to a distance. So currently we want to grade to the existing surface, and we'll go to the create grading icon and just click on it. And once we click on it, we are prompted to select the feature line. So this is the feature line we created, and we want to grade on the outside. So we are being asked for the to select the grading side. So we just click on the outside and we apply it to the entire length. So we click yes. And for now, we'll select a slope, not a grade. A grade is a percentage, a slope is a ratio. So I click on slope and I go with the default slope, which is 2:1 for cut. So I hit enter. And then for fill format, I also select slope and I go with the default and I hit enter. So let's see what Civil 3D comes with as a solution. So that is the grading. So as you can see on the red, this is a cut situation, and here on the left, on the right I mean, where it's green, this is a fill situation. So let's have a look at what is going on. So we select the grading and we right click and go to the object viewer again. Let's change the orientation, zoom in. All right, so you can see here the fill condition, and then we have a cut on this side. So this cut is going all the way to somebody's else parcel. So I want to reduce this grading. I want to reduce this grading slope so that the fill becomes sharper and the cut also becomes a bit sharper. So before we edit our grading slopes, let's first of all create an infill for this grading. You can select the grading, just select the grading and go and click on create grading infill at the contextual tab. So click on create grading infill and select there, and you'll see a diamond sign here, which indicates that the infill is created. So if I select this infill now and select the grading outside here for cut and fill, and I go to object viewer, I can now see that the grading is complete, and we have a full pad here, and then we have the cut on that side and the fill on this side. So what we want to do is we want to reduce these slopes so that it doesn't go to the next property. So what do? We also select this grading again, and we go to the contextual tab, which shows that you can edit the grading. So I click on edit grading. Sorry, I can go to grading editor, and here I am presented with a table. So here you can see I can change the slopes for the cut, and I can also change the slopes for the fill. So let me go with a steeper slope of 1:1. And here I go with a steeper slope of also 1:1. So if you just write 1, it will know that it is 1:1. So once I'm done, I just click OK. And as you can see, the grading dynamically updates to a sharper slope. So let's view it on object viewer again. So we click on the 2 gradings, and then we right click and we go to object viewer. There you go. Let me change the orientation. As you can see, there you go. We have our cut there that is very sharp, and then we have our fill on this other side, and then maybe our building will be flat, and we know what to perform on this cut. If you want to do a retaining wall that will retain the overburden that is on this side, we can also do that. Okay. Now we want to know how much cut and fill volume is happening in this grading. So how do we do that? We can select on the grading and go to grading volume tools. So if I click that, you will see that an error will pop up saying surfaces must be set in the grading group properties to compute volumes. So as we were creating the grading, we did not create a surface. So how do we do that? With your grading selected again, you can go to grading group properties. And here at the information tab, you'll notice that a surface was not created. So we can now check the automatic surface creation, and we'll go by the default styles of the surface to be created. So it will be called grading group 1 surface, and then everything set up to default, and then we apply, and then we click OK. So now we can see that a surface has been created. So next, what do? We again select on the grading, and now we can go to grading volume tools. So currently we cannot see anything. We cannot see any cut, any fill. So select on the entire group, and now you can see that there's 34 meter cubic of cut, and then you have 28 meter cubic of net. So let's say you wanted to balance this cut and fill. What happens? You can do it manually. That's the first option. You can keep raising or lowering the pad or the elevation footprint to get to where you want to balance the entire thing. For example, let's raise it and see what happens. Let's raise this pad. You can see it becomes the net becomes even more. So let's lower it. It goes back to 618. You can, if you lower it again, becomes even a higher figure. So let's just try to balance it automatically. So let's balance it by clicking here, and we'll be prompted to select the required volume of net. If you want a net volume of 0, you can just click on 0 and say okay, and automatically your cut and fill is done. And it's not precisely 0, but it's 0.02, which is negligible. So here you have your cut and your fill all done for you. So you can select again the grading and go to object viewer and zoom out. Okay, there's something we haven't selected, so let's select the grading. That's the grading. Then select the grading, the infill and go to object viewer again. Now we can see what is happening there, and then we can zoom in to see what's happening. So there you go. You have your well graded footpad, and you can know how much volume you're either cutting or filling. So that's just a demonstration of cutting and filling. In the next sessions or in the next videos, maybe we will be having more complex scenario to explore. So if you like this video, please subscribe and like the video, and remember to keep your notifications on for many more material that is coming your way. Thank you.